I love the word confluence. Do you love the word confluence? What does it mean? It means the coming together of several forces to create a force which is even greater than the individual forces on their own. What the heck does that have to do with the price of gold and silver? You might be asking, well, I think we need to take a look at what appears to be 2023, a confluence of 3 or 4, not minor, but major forces that could propel the price of gold and silver literally to the moon, maybe even beyond the moon. Now, I could be dead wrong, so don't make any financial decisions based upon what I'm telling you, but I believe this, and I get that funny, good feeling in my gut when I think about it, that if even just 2 or 3 of these 4 factors come together, we could still see outrageous returns for gold and silver. Goldman Sachs themselves, the bear, by the way, loves Goldman Sachs, but Goldman Sachs, that prestigious Wall Street investment firm, they even said that 2023 appears to be a year where a trade in gold offers asymmetric risk. Asymmetric? I can say that. Risk. What is that, you may be asking? Well, that means that the benefit, the potential gain, far outweighs the potential loss. They even mentioned there's massive central bank buying of gold. We're not going to focus in on that. We're going to focus in on these 3 and 4 awesome factors confluing, coming together, that's going to make for a happy 2023 for silver and gold investors. We think. Let's look at it right now. Number 1, geopolitical risk, geopolitical situation, whatever you want to call it. The world's all screwed up. That's another way to say it. I mean, we have major conflict going on in the world. We have a real conflict going on between the East and the West in the Ukraine. We have a splitting of the world. When things get uncertain in the world, big central banks, what do? They go to gold, they go to silver, and that's exactly what's happening right now. There's a ton of geopolitical uncertainty in the world, not to mention the fact, as we've covered already ad nauseum, that the Eastern countries, the BRICS countries, potentially including Saudi Arabia and 12 other countries that want to join the BRICS, starting their own reserve currency based on real assets, including silver and gold. So from a geopolitical perspective, we have the potential for a huge tailwind for the price of the precious metals, but that's just number 1. Number 2, the U.S. economy is very likely going to head into a recession or worse in 2023. Everybody and their brother, even the one-eyed guy in his basement in St. Louis, can see that we are heading towards a big recession. Well, what does that have to do with gold and silver, you might ask? Well, a lot of things. Number 1, if we head into a deep recession, the only thing the Fed and the other central banks can do is print money to get out of it. But what's super interesting about that scenario is that we may be heading into a big recession while simultaneously having big inflation. That means if they do have to print, right, to help save the economy, and we already have high inflation, inflation is going to skyrocket even further. In a nutshell, guys, that's called stagflation, a stagnant economy with inflation. If you look at history, if you look at the 70s and 80s, that was a period where we had stagflation. That was a period where we had super high returns in the precious metals. That's the second factor. Let's move on to factor number 3. Before we do that, I need to talk to you. Yes, you, right now. You are giving me your time from somewhere in the world, and I want to say thank you. There's only one you, and when we're here together, we're connecting. We are part of a much bigger crowd. But you know what? We're all kind of friends here. We like to dig in deep into these things. consider yourself welcome anytime. You know, if you want to think of it as a home away from home, that's great. We're your home away from home. You got a new friend in Ron's basement. If you get some value from this video, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, turn on the bell notification. Now let's talk about the third big factor. If the economy goes to crap, if we continue to have this high inflation, which it looks like we will, guess what? The stock market's going to go to crap. The real estate market's going to go to crap. The bond market's going to go to crap. Everything's going to go to crap, but we're still going to have high inflation. What's the one little shining star over there in the corner everybody forgot about, but it's actually done pretty well even during 2022 when those three aforementioned areas went to crap? That would be silver and gold. It's going to remain an attractive option as we head into this stagflationary environment as compared to stocks, bonds, real estate, pretty much anything else. That will also bring more money into the sector. And finally, we need to be nice to these crypto people. They have been decimated over the last year. Now, I've heard a lot of real smart people say something, and it makes total sense. Number one, the crypto people, they educated themselves on the failures and the risk involved in the fiat money system, right? They're kind of in the same camp with us. And now they're beginning to realize, and we don't want to rub it in at all to them, but they're beginning to realize that their 19,000 different cryptos that they invested in, a lot of them were scams and shams and not a real hard asset like silver and gold. This is the key. Some of those people, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them very well may continue to migrate into the silver and gold camp, and we will welcome them with open arms because we know silver and gold and platinum and palladium are the original cryptocurrencies. So when you look at these four factors, geopolitics, pushing more money towards gold and silver, the economy going to crap, a stagflationary environment, pushing more money into gold and silver, the fact that when you compare the returns of gold and silver to what people are going to be looking at in the real estate market, in the bond market, in the stock market, pushing more money into gold and silver. And finally, when the crypto people wake up and realize that, hey, you know what, silver and gold, they really are the original cryptocurrencies, that will also push more money into gold and silver. That's the confluence I was talking about. Four forces joining together to create one force greater than the four individually. Now, I want to repeat, I could be dead wrong. Just ask my wife, Susie. I'm wrong at least once every 3 months or every 3 hours. So don't make any financial decisions based upon what I shared with you today. Just my opinion, but more than my opinion. For me, it's my belief. You're entitled to your own beliefs. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Number one, be well, and I'll see you soon.